With superhero sequels, they're either good or horrible. It can be either amazing, like The Dark Knight, or extremely crappy, like Batman and Robin. How did Kick-Ass 2 turn out? Let's see. Now, Kick-Ass 2 is the big sequel to the action comedy of 2010, originally called Kick-Ass, which starred Aaron Johnson, Christopher-Mintz, Plasse, Mark Strong, Chloe Moretz, and Nick Cage. And I love this movie. I love the first Kick-Ass. And when I first saw it, I definitely was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to see a sequel. But when I saw the trailer for the second one, I'm like, it doesn't really need a sequel. It did have some sort of a cliffhanger at the end of the film, though, which I kind of figured that they would have a sequel. But after watching the trailer, I was really afraid that this movie was going to end up being downright terrible. Then when I saw the tomato meter for Kick-Ass 2 at like 26%, I'm like, oh no. No. But after seeing the film, I am really shocked that this movie has such a low rating. I had a very fun time with Kick-Ass 2. The movie follows, of course, Kick-Ass and Hit Girl, the two main characters of the first one. And basically now, it's a few years later, they're grown up a lot more, and now they're trying to get back into action while also following some very bad sequences going on in their life, and also they have to stop the new supervillain, who's played by Christopher-Mintz Plasse, who in the first movie was Red Mist, and now his name is the Motherfucker. I'm sorry, I love that fucking name. And then they also get some other superheroes around the city to help them out, including one named Colonel Stars and Stripes, who's played by none other than Jim Carrey. Now, something I was really happy with was that the main actors in this film did not really change their characters at all. They didn't change at all. Aaron Taylor Johnson, now, I felt stuck the same way that he did with the original character Dave in the first Kick-Ass. He's exactly the same, and I was really afraid that they were going to change him in some sort of way, shape, or form. But there was no change at all. Also with Chloe Moretz as Hit Girl. Chloe Moretz never changed at all either. I loved Hit Girl in the first Kick-Ass because she was so badass, and she was also badass in this one too. And Christopher-Mintz Plasse, I thought did a very good job as the main villain. He was very, very funny, and he was very, very cruel, and sometimes could be very, very hateful. And Jim Carrey, I loved Jim Carrey in this movie. He was so awesome and a pretty big badass for an action comedy. But then again, I can pretty much love Jim Carrey in any movie he's in. And yes, including the crappy Mr. Popper's Penguins. Now, most people want in Kick-Ass 2, which because we got a lot of it in the first one, was the big bloody and gory action. Now, I didn't really feel like there was as much gore as there was in the first one, but there was definitely a lot of action, and it was very, very well put together. I think it had very good action, and it had some good laughs as well. Not as much as there was in the first one, but it was pretty funny at points, but I kind of wish that it did have a little bit more humor. And what I always like in sequels is how they relate things back to the first one, like bringing back old characters in the film that I thought was awesome. But the only downside was that a couple of them changed. Like, one of the friends was not played by Evan Peters, and how Mindy or Hit Girl's guardian was played by Morris Chestnut, not the one in the original. I was kind of like, why? But the problems with the film, it's basically what I had with the first one at some points, but I think there was a lot more in this one. Which for me, it was the drama sometimes just seemed too far-fetched. And sometimes it just got a little bit uncomfortable, and I really just didn't wish it was taken so seriously at some points. And I just didn't really like it that much. And sometimes it could be a little bit cliched. And there was this one thing that happened in the movie that I predicted was going to happen since the trailer, and it happened, but I'm not going to give it away because it'll be considered a spoiler. But luckily, those problems are solved by the great acting from Aaron Johnson and Chloe Moretz. I thought they did very, very good in this movie. I was really happy that they did awesome in this film. And the action was awesome. And I thought it had a pretty good story between Kick-Ass and the main villain, the Motherfucker. Well, overall, I really liked Kick-Ass 2. I thought it was a blast. It's a good action comedy, especially for the end of the summer. It's definitely one that you should go see. Don't listen to what the critics say, because I think this one was really, really good. Definitely not good compared to the first one. Definitely had a lot more problems than the first one, but it's still a very entertaining film, and that's what should be entertaining. I will be giving Kick-Ass 2 a B. That is my review of Kick-Ass 2, guys, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'm Lucas Stringer. I'll see you guys later.